URT, who are we? This is the URT. You are the URT. Welcome back to the URT. Big up everybody. Please smash a like. Welcome back to the channel. I've just come back literally right now from Old Trafford. That was an absolute disgraceful. I'm not blaming Amorim. This is not an Amorim. That was Ineos' game plan. That was Ineos' game plan. And Ineos' game plan is too negative. And everybody and their nan can see that with their own eyes. We go 1-0 up, I think, after 50 or nearly 60 minutes. Instead of pushing on, getting the second goal, what do we do? What do we do? We defend. We make defensive substitutions. What do we do? And invite West Ham to get a bit more bolder and go for it. But anyway, we're going to be with you, and I'm going to hear from Bombaye after this intro. Big up to everybody. On your way in, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you don't already subscribe. URT, welcome back to the channel. To the channel. Bombaye, tell me about that. Give me your match reaction because I am absolutely fuming. Big up Khalees Ramadan Lassie, Chief Editor United Real Therapy. Please make sure you check Khalees out on X at Khalees Ramadan Lassie. He's on top of it all. Go ahead.
Big up Khalees. Just before you started the stream, man, I have to shout out everybody leaving comments. I was laughing my head off at some of the comments. Well, I'll give it to you like this, brother. An abject performance from start to finish. Abject performance from start to finish. We deserve nothing more than a draw. I was thinking back to what I said when you asked me this last season, like, what are you looking to see and stuff? And I was like, you know what, 10, 12 games, hopefully see some progress in the football. That's what we're looking at, the football. We're actually quite generous in the sense that we're still taking results, knowing that the football is trash. And tonight you can't learn anything from that game, other than you might have taken your 3 points, you would have took nothing else. But tonight it's basically we played them in exactly the way that we were saying on here last night not to play them. Wide and slide, launch balls into the box, and they just kept clearing it out. Pretty comfortable. There was nothing else. There's no dynamism. They didn't really do anything. Just plodded along against West Ham. That, to me, I watched them for the first time tonight. They're shit. They are terrible. They offer nothing, in my opinion. That defense ain't even that good, but we're just abject. And you miss the opportunity to beat this team at home and then go to Wolves and really stay in the mix. But Ruben Amorim, man, I have to be honest with you, the little bit of progress that we made, that's just a small part of the story. That stood still for quite a while now. We're not kicked on at all. So at this point, you're really asking yourself, I mean, what is Ruben Amorim giving me? And just to top it all off, there is no entertainment value with Man United. We've gotten rid of managers that were doing better in terms of results and points. Most of them were, all of them were. But we didn't like Van Gaal's, we didn't like Mourinho's, Oli, we felt he won't get. But they were all better than this in terms of, like, the football. This is dead, man. This has been dead since last season, and we're at Christmas now. We should be looking at this saying, forget just results. The patterns of play there, there's fluidity in the team. We can impose our identity on a game. We can take the sting out of a game. We're dynamic enough to not just cross balls into the box every week because it's like this and we can't go through the middle. But it's just dead. It's one-dimensional football. And Ruben Amorim, all the talk aside from that, I mean, this tonight really is a big rock in the basket to, like, what are we hanging on to you for? As a manager, the progress isn't there, Ruben. we're at home against West Ham. That is shit, man. They're 18th, bro. You know, Espirito Santo. I'll be interested to see how far he takes them and if he can, save them, salvage their season. They've got nothing. I swear, I watched them tonight. We made Wan-Bissaka look pretty good tonight, and we're just not offering anything. And we're just dead boring to watch. I'm still coming on here and saying, you know what, this is all right, that's all right, playing a hypothetical game. This is what we could do. This is how, but nothing's happening really. And this performance is rearing its head way too often. And recent results before, yeah, all right, we played all right, but we were riding luck as well. That luck ran out, and tonight they could have won it. So I have to say, man, at this point, there's not really much to hang on to with Ruben Amorim, and this is a really, really, really bad result, and a even worse performance that does not put him in any good stead, man. It's certainly a case against him. This performance tonight, it was dreadful from start to finish. Everybody.
Big up Luani. I
Hey,
thought
big
that
up,
was
my
a
brother.
disgrace. I've just been to this.
Big up,
I've
Luan.
just been to the stadium. That was an absolute disgrace. We said last night that if we go at this rate, we're going to concede around 50 to 55 goals this season because we concede. We're not good enough. We're not stable enough to keep a 1-0 clean sheet at Old Trafford. We're not good enough to do that. And after we scored with 70 minutes, right, or 60-something minutes after we scored, we
I'll kill it.
the ball backwards and not go for the second. At Old Trafford, when you got 75,000 fans for you, wanted to encourage you to go and attack, what do we do? Start passing the ball back. And then he starts making defensive fucking substitutions. This is not on him anymore. This is above him. When are we going to wake up and stop blaming him? This is Ineos Glazer game plan. They only want in the stadium. That's all they're interested in. How did you see that game?
No, Dean, I salute you, know, Dean. You are obviously the voice of wisdom, and this is look, I'm depressed right now. Okay, Boomer, you say they shit. They're not shit. They just stoop to our level. They just stoop to our. We are shit. We are a shit football team. I've seen West Ham. I watched them since Nuno came. 3 games I've watched. They play better than this. Is by far their worst game of the season. You know, yesterday I said the only way we beat them is if they come and give us the respect that we did not deserve. For the first 16 minutes, they were dominating. They were dominating us for 16 minutes, and for some reason, they decided they were going to go back into their shell, and we took control. They gave us the respect that we did not deserve, and even we couldn't even do anything with that. We score a goal, and they suddenly decide, you know what? They're going to come out and play football, and they took over the game again in our house. Now what? They are in relegation. This is our level, people. This is our level. When it was 1-0, I was thinking to myself, if I come here and what am I so what I'm going to come here and debate my fellow panelists on the merit of us. Hey, we win 1-0, the project is going in the right direction. Amorim might be is the right guy, and Bruno again, the players are working for him. I'll hear all those things tonight. Guys, watch the football games. I beg you. We are shit. We are a bad football team, guys.
Yeah, we are.
We are a bad football team. Today we try to everything. Forget about the individual matchup that we have. Cunha couldn't get past Wan-Bissaka when we had the isolation, and then he started playing like a headless chicken. Ahmad was getting a lot of change on his side. Credit to him. He was the only one it looked like if something was going to happen positive on our end today, it was going to come from Ahmad's side. But even if you look at the game overall and the tactic, it looked like Amorim is just asking these players for too much. He must be crazy, this Amorim guy. I've seen everything from underlapping, wide centre back to overlapping wide centre back to inverting wing back or introvert wing back. I have no clue what this guy is doing anymore. Even the players seems confused. Because sometimes I'm seeing Cunha, instead of being hugging the wing, he's picking up position in the same, and then 2 minutes later you see Dalot picking up the same position. What exactly are they doing? The only side that seem to understand each other that makes sense is Ahmad Mbomo. That's it. Everybody else is confused. And Bruno, he's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I promise you, people, this is our level. This is relegation football. And this club deserves so much better. This club deserves so much better. I said, look, I'm not going to get emotional over United's bullshit again. But sometimes you just watch nonsense and you listen sometimes to people trying to make sense of nonsense online, and it just piss you off. You know, we're not going anywhere with these guys. Seriously, can you look at this football and think that this is a top 6? Like, really? Like, really? Okay, fine. Fine, guys.
I don't even know if Ten Hag was like, what's changed?
No,
Last season's the worst ever in history.
The thing where I clock with him is that Amorim think that he's trying to reinvent football. He's crazy. He's out of his freaking mind. How can you sometimes just keep the game simple for your players and let them express themselves? Even Ahmad, apart from today's game, he seemed to be regressing to a certain extent. What is going on? No, and Nuruddin, you are 100% right. We have to look past Amorim. This is on Omar Berada. That fucker he looked like Tutankhamun, or he looked like a mummy or something. This is on Omar Berada. This is on Ratcliffe. Because if tomorrow Ratcliffe walk into his office and slam his hands on the table, say, Omar Berada, fix this or you lose your job, I promise you, this will be fixed. All our nightmare will be over. Nuruddin is right. It's because Omar Berada, it's because Jim Ratcliffe is accepting this nonsense. That's why we're still enduring this torture. Salute to you, Nuruddin. Salute to you. Because now, I'm done. I'm done with this team. I'm done with these people. Seriously. Nonsense.
What was the atmosphere like at the club, at the stadium, and did they boo the players?
Yeah, they booed.
The
Yeah, we booed at the end. Yeah, boos rang out at the end. I mean, it's just, this is what I just can't. I can't hear from this guy anymore because it's not on him anymore. It's on Ineos. It's on the Glazers. It's not people who are trying to talk about him. There's no point talking about him.
Is it time to change him?
It's time to get Ineos out. It's time to get Ineos out, Bombay.
I know,
it's
bro.
Time to get Ineos out. I don't trust them. They bought this guy. I don't trust Ineos to hire somebody else. This is not about Amorim. It's not been about Amorim after the Grimsby game. It's not been about Amorim after the Grimsby game. How many games does it have to be about Amorim?
Bro,
I don't know. Did we clap this? Kobe is on the bench for this. Kobe is on the bench for this thing. Like,
let
really?
me just say this. Wow. Let me just say this, right? If you ask the whole fan base, 100% of them, yeah, all however many 100 million of them that are on Earth, and said to them, who would you sack first? They'd say the Glazers, then Ineos, then maybe the manager. Now, in a real world, that's not going to happen, is it? What is most likely to happen is a decision will be put in front of us where our voices will be loud and say, please replace the manager, go and get whoever else you want, or keep him. Is his performance up to this point, like today, where are we there? That is the only thing that is going to change. That's just the way football is. Owners, man, it's hard to get rid of them. Not just our owners, any owners.
I'm sorry, Bombay. I'm sorry. No, it's about who's got the bottle and the heart, who's willing to put their line on the line. The thing about it is that we live in a fascist state, police state, and people are not willing to get locked up. But the thing about it is that if, let's say, 50 or 25,000 people just went on the pitch and sat down, are they going to arrest 25,000 people? They're not
All
got
right.
enough police in Manchester
They're not
to
good.
arrest
They're not.
25,000
not.
people. But they don't want to do that. People don't want to do that. And that's why we always have to make it about Amorim. It stopped being about Amorim when he lost the Europa League final against Spurs. This was Ineos' game plan. This is what they want. This is their game plan. And it's too negative. And nobody can tell me anything. Ben, welcome to the stream. We're at Old Trafford. 74,000. So many Irish fans around me tonight. So many came over. So many of them came over from Ireland tonight. And they're all so disappointed. Absolutely heartbroken. And I just don't understand it. When a fan's going to wake up, this is not about... It's not about Amorim and his coaching staff. It stopped being after the Europa League final. When are you going to wake up? This is Glinios. This is Glazer Ineos. That's what it is. But Ben, what did you think of the performance before we get to the ownership? What did you think of the performance tonight? We can't defend, Ben. I'll explain it to people. We can't defend. We've only kept one clean sheet this season. We can't defend. We're not a good enough team to win 1-0 at home. And Old Trafford, the culture is you go for the second goal because they can score any minute, any time. We're playing a team against in the bottom three, relegation for fuck's sake. What are they doing?
Yeah. Good evening. Can you hear me? Yeah, loud and clear. Yes. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Big up to the chat. Smash the likes, people. Subscribe. Free Palestine every day, man. Yeah. Look, Nerd, I really feel sorry for you, man, for going to that stadium. Like you, yes, you've called out these owners for so many years, man, and it just shows how much of a fan you really are. You love this club. You want this club, like the best interest for the club. But right now, Nerd, and I think we just all need to take a step back and stop going. But it won't help shit. It won't help shit. As I said to you before, people, I don't give a fuck about Ruben Amorim, about these players. Yes, I hate Bruno Fernandes. I hate a lot of these players. Maguire, Shaw, the list goes fucking on, man. But I don't care about them players. I don't care about Ruben Amorim. I'm focused on these fucking bastards, man. I'm at war. As I said, people, again, I'm going to keep saying it every fucking video. I'm at war with Ineos and Glazers right now. There's a fucking stack of Irish fans out there who are literally, they're exactly the same views as me, saying this. Yes, Ruben Amorim deserves a sack. He deserves every right to be sacked. But after 20 years of fucking disgusting human beings running this fucking football club, destroying the soul. The soul was destroyed probably the day Sir Alex left this club. And yes, Sir Alex can take a lot of blame, man, because he hid the Glazers. But I'm sorry, man, it's over to us. Once Sir Alex retired, he then looked down on us and said, it's your job. It's our job. It's not anyone else's job. It's not the pundits' jobs. It's our job to get the fucking job done. And I don't care if anyone says, oh, it's impossible. It's impossible. The mission's impossible to get rid of the owners. Getting rid of Amorim is gonna be, it's gonna be the right fucking thing, bro. Because it's gonna be a new culture, new style, new stylist, new style. No, it's not. It's been happening for far too fucking long, man. And I'm sick of it, man. I'm just sick of it. I want everyone to just fucking wake the fuck up, man. I watched Said's video again, bro, and it's just all about Amorim this, Amorim that. No. Ineos, Wilcox, Barada, Dan Ashworth got sacked. Fucking 500 staff got fucking sacked. All this shit is just adding up, man. Ineos are just basically the icing on the cake. The base is the Glazers. Sir Jim's not doing anything right for this football club. The soul has been dead for so many years. And you know what? To any of you people in the chat and all around the world, if that watching this, if any of you think that sacking Ruben Amorim alone and bringing in, like, say, even an Eddie Howe or Pep Guardiola or anyone out of this world is going to fix it, you're not. Because I tell you what, if you think that is going to fix it, you're not going to see your club back. And I'll fucking tell you to your fucking face, you're not going to see Man United come back to the top unless you get a fucking grip and just unite and just get rid of these fucking bastards, man. I'm sick. They're just here for the stadium. They're just here for PR. They're not here for anything. For any, culture. No wonder our players look fucking depressed because they're getting up for this shit, man. They're getting up.
Okay,
and yes,
Ben, why do you think bringing a new manager will not fix our problem?
I don't need to explain that, Luani. I don't need to explain that. Ever since
No,
ever
you just
since
talk about even
ever since Sir
Eddie
Alex
Howe
left,
come
ever
here,
since
it will not fix our problem. Why do you think if
because
Eddie Howe come, it will
no,
not fix our problem?
no, because you know why, Luani? It's not going to be his identity. It's going to be Ineos's identity, and we're already seeing Ineos's identity. This is Ineos's plan. It's not Amram's game plan. It's
How is this
Ineos's plan.
Ineos plan? What
Because
is
they're
the
in
plan
charge.
of
Because they're in
Ineos?
charge. Because they're in
No,
charge
no.
of
You
football.
can't just stay there in charge, Ben. What is their plan? Their plan is to make money. Ineos
Yes,
make money
their plan to
when
make
the
money.
product
Yes,
on the pitch is good. Correct. Right?
Sorry, say it, repeat that one again. Sorry.
Ineos, their plan is to come here and make profit. That's the plan
Yes,
of every
absolutely.
businessman.
Yeah,
Correct. You
yeah.
cannot knock them for that. Now, how do they make their profit?
What do you mean you
When
cannot knock
the
them?
product on the pitch,
Sorry.
when the product on the pitch is good, that's how they make their profit. Right?
No, but so did you? I just want to cut in there. You said that we can't, criticize them for that. For
No. I didn't say that. I'm asking you a question.
No. Yeah, but no. So right, that's a red flag instantly. They're coming here to make money. That's a red flag instantly.
No, it can be a red flag.
No. Even if it's a business and any other business,
money.
and any other businessmen and around this world, not including football and sports, right? 100% I agree. But when it comes to sports and any sports, the football club belongs to the fans, not to the fucking owners. I don't care about if you're a businessman or not. The fans own the club, and that's it, man. That's what it was like back in the old days.
From a symbolic standpoint, okay? You speaking from a symbolic standpoint.
No, but it was like that back in the years as well. It was back in the years as well. George Best.
If you say that the fan own the club, how much percentage of money do the fan have in there? It's symbolic. Okay, the reality is that these guys own the club. No matter how they acquire it, it's their money, and they choose to run it the way they want. So we can voice our displeasure, okay, but we also we have to get to a point where we compartmentalize the roles. I understand where you're coming from and where New G coming from, and tonight I agree with both of you. But the reason I'm thinking we have an issue with these owners is because of their standards, and it's because of their incompetence. It's not because of their goal. They want to make money. That's a fact. That's okay. But are they incompetent? Yes. Do they have low standards? Of course. Otherwise, how can we explain the fact that they're accepting this bullshit? That's the only thing I see that's wrong.
Well, why are we accepting it? We've accepted it for 20 fucking years. So that's what I'm saying, Luani. I can't really get on, like, as much as I hate this ownership, I'm now getting more annoyed about us. I'm now getting more annoyed about this fan base. Because this fan base has been gaslighted for 10 fucking years. It's been happening every fucking time. Yes, after the first sacking of David Moyes, we'll say, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll give him one more time. Louis van Gaal. They sacked Louis van Gaal. Yes, that was a fucking regret. They sacked him. That's when I instantly said, right, these boys aren't serious. They're not serious at all. They're not serious. And every single one of you fans out there were saying, sack the manager, we'll fix everything. Sack the manager, we'll fix everything. It fucking didn't. And I fucking knew it was going to be like that. I'm sorry. If any of you think out there that bringing any other coach in and sacking Ruben Amorim right now will fix it. And yes, he deserves a sacking. I'm not backing him. He deserves every right to be sacked. But I'm sorry, sacking him alone is going to gaslight each and every single one of you, and I am not being gaslighted anymore, man. And do you know what? And one more thing as well. Look, as I said, I'm Ruben Amorim, right? I don't want. I want him sacked in an ideal world with new owners, but with this current ownership and with our fans going in, destroying the living shit out of fucking Ruben Amorim, wanting them out so bad. I still think, because the amount of people I've seen that side's match reaction like last week, people saying chill out, it's a nice atmosphere and all that stuff. See them people that set that aside, they're all pro Ineos. They can see their plan, they can see the future. But this is why I want solely Ruben Amorim to stay, not because I don't think he deserves to stay or he's the man. He deserves the fucking sack right now. But it's just because these bastards in the Ineos supporters, they will then say, Well, why is this guy still here? I'm gonna turn to Ineos now. I'm criticizing Ineos. It means more fans are gonna be on board with people like me, people like Nerdin, who've been calling out for these fucking vultures for so many fucking years. So the more failure, the more pain and the more suffering we're gonna get with sticking with this manager, the fucking better, because these bastards are gonna move across to our side and be with us. And yes, it might be impossible. I'm sorry, people. I will repeat again. AC Milan got rid of their fucking owners. Sheffield Wednesday got rid of their fucking owners. Man City, when they were at their old stadium, got rid of their fucking owners. It can happen. We are just afraid. We just don't think of the bigger picture because we're Man United. We're fucking Manchester United. We're not a fucking football club.
I think the idea of Ben is cut off your nose to
One
spite your
second,
face.
one second, Mumbai. Let me just get this super chat, and then we'll bring Sean in to get his match reaction, and then we can come back to you. Big up Owinski. Appreciate the super chat. He said, "I despise Ineos and Glazers, but this manager, what is the game plan? He's so amateurish, meaningless team setup subs. He needs to understand there is such sophistication in simplicity." Big up to you, Owinski. Sean, how did you see that? What time is it over there in California? Did he have to get up early?
No, it's the middle of the day. Yeah, middle of the day.
Talk to me.
I think
how did you see
before
this? I just want to ask you one question. This is above Amorim now. Surely you've realized that yourself. This is not on Amorim anymore.
I was just about
We're
to
at home. We're playing against a team in the bottom three. We're playing against a team in the bottom three. We're 1-0 up, Sean, after 70 or 60-something minute. And instead of going for the second goal in a ram-jammed stadium, Old Trafford, we try to defend a 1-0 where we've only kept one clean sheet this season. And at this rate, Sean, if we keep at the rate that we're conceding goals, we are on record to concede the record goals conceded in the Premier League history for Manchester United. That's between like 55 and nearly 60. So where do we go from here? And how did you see the game first?
So that was a loaded question, and I think I want to
facts.
preface.
I'm giving you some context and facts. Forget about Ineos. How did you see the game? What is the game plan to think we're good enough in the defense, especially this season, to keep a 1-0 scoreline at Old Trafford?
So I want to preface what I'm saying, right, with a question to you, Nuruddin. Like, what kind of show are you trying to have? Because if you're looking for everyone on the panel to agree with you, because I don't want to get into like.
I want to know how you see it. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm not asking anybody to agree.
Okay.
I just want to know what I'm telling you. I'm giving you context and facts. I've just been to the stadium. I'm telling you when we scored. I'm telling you how long time was left. I'm telling you about how many goals we conceded this season, and I'm telling you that if this carrying on, do you think that we're good enough to win 1-0 at Old Trafford? When was the last time we did it?
Right. So the game I saw today,
playing a team in the bottom three.
Right. So I can't do anything about the frustration that you and many United fans feel. But if you want a monologue, right, like you're free to do that.
No, I don't want a monologue. I'm just asking you a question.
Okay. Yeah, no. My view of the game that I saw today, I think to an extent, like we were unlucky. I think we dominated the game for large parts, and what we were missing critically was just quality up front. I'm not sure, and I'll also just introduce my own expectations for this season, right? And I would say that, like, I think this inconsistency that we're seeing from this team, where we win games we're not expected to win and lose or drop points in games that we are expected to perform. I think that's a feature of teams in the phase that United is in. I don't think we're the first team to go through such a process, and I don't think we will be the last. Again, at this point, I feel it's necessary to say that I can't do anything about, like, the more radical or revolutionary ideas that people have about the solution. I think this team, the game that I saw today, I felt like we lacked quality and cohesion basically up front. The players weren't able to create necessary like chances or the passes that were needed to like unlock West Ham. We just weren't able to do that. But in terms of like being in control of the game, It seemed to me like we were for large parts of the game. And the way football is, if you don't take your chances, right, or if you control possession and don't finish your other team off, you give them an opportunity to get back into the game, and that's what we saw today. I thought if I talk about specific players, right, I thought I'm happy to see Cunha back, but I thought he didn't look particularly sharp today. I thought Mbeumo as well isn't looking, as sharp as he looked beginning of the season. I think, in midfield, Bruno and Casemiro, that is what it is. Even though unfortunately the Casemiro situation is even one of the more frustrating things to me because he's clearly heads and shoulders above any other midfielder in the team. Like just in terms of his positional awareness, he knows where to be, to defend. He's good on the ball in terms of passing as well. But he's also a shit player that can frustrate you, right? So we're stuck with him. I think without a doubt, like Ineos needs to spend in the summer. I think we need a more attacking left back. So I think the team is very imbalanced, right? And once that whole right side goes to AFCON, we're in trouble. So I'm not, for me personally, the position I've taken is that this is how our manager, the manager that we have, this is how he wants to play. And I'm more interested in the ways that the team can figure out how to support basically this project. So who can we buy in January that would improve the team's chances of because I'm on planet Earth, I wasn't expecting to win the league this year anyway. So what can we do to end up in the more realistic position that I always thought we could be in, which is in a European competition spot? I think that means we need to keep a lot of our players fit. I think that means we need to sign some players in January. And I think this form that we are in and that the rest of the league is in means that we have a chance basically to end up in either a Champions League spot, of which fifth is, or a Europa spot, which that was my expectation coming into the season. That's fine for me personally.
Do you think this
right?
team is good enough on this game plan from Ineos and Glazers is good enough to get Europa League football?
Good enough to get Europa League football this season? Yes, I do. I think so.
I think
Sean, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Please. You say we didn't have quality in the front today. We have two of our marquee signing of this season in Cunha and Mbeumo playing up front. We have our most talented young player, Ahmad, playing. We have our chance creator extraordinaire, Bruno, that's up front. And Xerxes. Okay, we can debate the merit of him starting. But would you think the only person missing, Sesko, would have made a difference? West Ham is last, right? West Ham conceded 28 goals. 28 goals. Wolf is last with 29 goals conceded. And they didn't even low block us to a point the same way Everton low block us last time. So I don't understand. How much more quality do we need to break down their team?
So Luani, I think you're both right and wrong in the sense that, yes, on paper, in terms of quality, Cunha and Mbeumo, all these guys are much better than West Ham players, right? But I think it's unfair to expect them to perform at their A game every single game. And what the team needs, right? What the team needs is squad depth, which I think we all agree. So that the day that Mbeumo, who is a talented player, or Cunha, who is a talented player, the day that they're not performing to their best, there should be somebody else who's willing, who can and is willing to step up. And that's what the best teams have. That's what Arsenal have in somebody like Trossard or Merino or Martinelli, right? People who are able to come in and score goals. And we don't have that, right? So on a day like today, where Mbeumo wasn't at his best self, I wish we had somebody else on the squad who was able to keep Mbeumo more honest.
Squad depth, right? We should be talking about squad depth when we challenge him for that. We should be talking about squad depth when we challenge him for top 6. We shouldn't need squad depth to beat relegation West Ham.
I don't know that. I don't know if we're disagreeing necessarily, like right, Luani. I'm saying that Amorim should be braver, right? So I think in his mind, he was making an attacking sub by bringing on Dorgu for Dalot, because Dorgu is supposed to, be more energetic. He's supposed to put them under more pressure. And I think to an extent, we got into attacking positions. We were relatively in control of the game, but there was just no creativity, right? I think the stats support my claim that this was a game that United were on top of for the most part, but we lacked the creativity and the killer instincts to make it happen. right? I think that's what I was trying to get from Nuruddin. Like, I'm not sure like what kind of conversation or show we're looking to have, because if we're trying to go in turns talking about how frustrated we are, I think we can do that, right? That's fine with me. But Luani, I don't think it's fair to say that like squad depth doesn't mean anything, because I think we could have benefited from being able to freshen up the options that we had in attack today. I wish at some point we could, and Amorim tried to do that, right? He brought on Ugarte, moved Bruno forward, put Mbeumo as the striker, and took off Xerxes, right? He was trying to change things up in that attacking, because we were in control of the game, and we needed to put together the right combination basically to unlock them, and we just couldn't because the team lacks creativity. And I'm saying that at this stage of the way the team is, I think we are where I would expect us to be, which is we are an inconsistent team, right, with a higher floor than we had last season. So I think without a doubt, this team is better than it was last season. That might be cold comforts to a lot of people, right? But it's just a factual statement. We're better than we were last season. So if I'm judging, looking at a long-term 5-year project, the kind of project that is necessary to get a team back to the top, right? I'm doing that kind of project. In the second season, after the kind of signings that we've made, I would expect that we will be trying to get ourselves in a European League qualification spot. And I think if we're keeping it honest or fair, that's where we are. If you're asking me to predict the future, if I have confidence in the team, I don't. Like, that's just I don't, like anybody else. But that doesn't. But like I'm saying, that's to be expected also at this stage. And I think the whole thing about Ineos, I think it's there's no problem. I've never come across a problem in my personal life, in society, wherever, that there's a magic bullet solution, right? And I think people have a tendency to look for the one thing, right? The one button that you can push that will solve all the problems. And there's no such thing ever, anywhere, in any area or sphere of life. And so, like,
no, I do agree with you when you say that we are a better team compared to last season. The only nuance I would like to point out is that, are we a better team by virtue of the fact that we just upgraded personnel, or are we a better team as a consequence that there is a noticeable evolution in the tactic of Amorim, or if the players that he's trying to coach are really assimilating what he's trying to teach them? I'll argue that today, when we get into the final third, we got a lot of ball in the final third. No matter how we progress it, because we are going long, we're not obviously not going through the middle. But when that knockdown ball comes and our players are in control of the ball, they don't give away the ball easily like the West Ham players. But when we get there, our attack just breaks down. It looks like these players are just left on their own to figure out something. And that is, after a year, that's what's damning to me. That's why I'm like...
No, but like Luani, I think what I saw today was just lack of quality, like poor passes breaking down, crosses that could not beat the first man. People not communicating properly, right? Getting in their own way, that kind of thing. That's what I saw from the attack today. So like it's not as if, like, right? It's like it's not as if.
So Ben. So can I ask Sean? So we didn't see that against Everton. We didn't see that in the first half against Crystal Palace. So what are we doing here? How much did we spend on the attack in the summer?
I think the point I'm trying to make, right? Because I was listening to the show before I hopped on, right? Like the idea that a 50,000 person sitting at Old Trafford, I think that would be cathartic, right? I think that would provide like good feelings to you and maybe Ben, but I don't think it fixes the football problem on the pitch. So what I'm saying, right, is that yes, it is true that we spent a lot of money, not only this past window but previous windows. Yes, it is true that we should expect more from the team. Okay, like now what, right? Is the next thing that we're supposed to talk about from my perspective. Now what? That's why I didn't.
Today, do you think it was just lack of quality? Do you not think we lack? There's no energy. There's no cohesion. There's no proper coaching. There's no patterns of play. There's no rhythm. Do you not see any of that?
Of all the adjectives that you Of all
We
the
got
adjectives that
1
you
point.
used,
We got 1 point. 1 point out of 6 at home. Explain that to me, please, Sean. Against
of all the
a team that is in the bottom 3 and a team that both of them will struggle away from home. West Ham, this is their record. 22 away games, right? In 22 away games, when they've conceded the first goal, this is the only game when they've come back to draw.
of all the adjectives that you use, the only one that I agree with is that there was no cohesion. I think Amorim's system, right? The way Amorim's system is, by definition, as a feature of the system, right? It's a mid-block type of situation. It's a system where the centre back spend a lot of time in possession. I have come to terms with how Amorim wants to play football, right? I'm not necessarily like interested in that part of the argument or that part of the conversation. I think I understand what he's trying to do. So I don't agree with the claim about style of play, patterns of play. I see that. I don't agree with the claim about energy. I see that from the team. Cohesion, I agree with you. Like the team is not cohesive, right? We're not able to successfully.
Can you explain it to us, Sean? Do we ever score the same goals? Do we ever, other than set pieces? Is there a different combination that we use to score goals? Do we have regular goal scorers who scored the similar amount of goals? The things that we worked on training. Do you see that? Please explain that to us.
So you're asking me if, despite the fact that we came 15th last year and were terribly inconsistent this season in terms of results, you're asking me if I see repeated patterns of goals? No, as in, like, of course not. Like that's part of the problem, right? That's the conversation that we're having. The things that Amorim is trying to implement and trying to coach into these players, we didn't see any of this last season, right? I think I'm saying this season we've seen a lot more stability from the team, and I think that is reflected in the number of points that we have and where we are on the table, which is not anywhere to be happy about or to write home about. But I'm saying by definition, right, just as a matter of fact, as of this stage in the league, we're a better team now than we were last season. And so we haven't scored necessarily right now. We haven't scored the same goal every single time. I don't know what team does that. But if Amorim has all his players, I think I have a clear idea of, number one, how we try and play out of the back when we're not going long. I have an idea of where Ahmad is going to be when we're defending and when we're attacking, right? I have an idea of what he's trying to do with Mazraoui, Mbeumo, and Ahmad with the number 10 on that wing. I have a clear idea of what he's trying to do on the other side, right? With the left centre back and with the left 10, basically. That part is clear to me. Where we agree that I don't like Amorim's approach is in midfield, right? What he's asking his two midfielders to do. I don't like it. And you're correct when you say his style of play dictates the midfield. So I think what I'm trying to encourage people to do is to come to terms with what is necessary. And this is, I think, the best critique of Amorim's system, in my opinion, that the system requires specialized professionals in every single position, right? Other systems, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, you can get away with 4-4-2. You can get away with generalists in many different positions. You can get away with luck and all that kind of thing. But the way Amorim wants to play, everybody in every single position needs to be a specialist in exactly what it is that he's asking them to do. For me, the jury is out whether or not that's the correct way to approach football. But to say that there is no identity, I just don't think that's true. I don't think it's true.
Just a couple of questions, Sean. What you say? You said that Amorim, we've seen the way he tried to implement his system. We all see his approach. The question is it working? You
Yes, I
also say
know.
okay. So if he's not working and he's not willing to change it, then I think one thing have to give. Now, my second issue is the fact that you said that he's trying to coach, he's trying to instill the system into the player. That's a fact. You are right about that statement. But maybe that's the issue. This guy is trying to coach the system into the players instead of coaching the players into the system. What I say by that is, if Amorim take Dogu, for example, say Dogu, okay, I know you are in a 4-4-2, you are left back by trade. but I need you to be a wing back. So I'm gonna need you to do this. It doesn't matter if your natural attribute fit that. It doesn't matter if that's not what you learned since your academy years. But I need you to do something in a specific way. Is that playing into the strength of Dogo from what he learned since he's been at the academy, or is that playing into his strength in terms of what his natural abilities are? No. What Amorim should be doing is trying to coach the players into the system. He look at his system, he said, okay, I have a wing back position here. This is what I want my wing back to do. Dogu doesn't fit that wing back profile, so I'm going to use this somebody else in that space. Or if I use Dogu, I'm going to simplify the game for him. I'm going to ask him to do certain things that could benefit my system and benefit him as a player, or bring his natural abilities. Like Amorim is suppressing the instinct of all the players. They all look uncomfortable in this system. And he's not the first person to play this system. He didn't invent it. So why is his 3-4-3 so odd?
Luani, I agree with you.
We've seen Alonso played it. We've seen Inzaghi play it. We've seen Glasner in this Premier League plays it. So he can't even make an excuse to say, oh, the Premier League is physical, that's why I can't implement it. No, everybody just look odd, out of place. They don't know what to do. And he himself, the first person to be confused, seemed to be Amorim himself.
Luani, I agree with you, all right, in that I wish Amorim were a different person. I mean, I wish he were a different person. But do you know the first person who also agree with you that something has to change? Amorim himself, right? And for better or worse, this is somebody who wears his heart on his sleeve in the sense that he tells you, I am the manager, I am who I am, right? I am the man that I am, and I'm doing my best to implement my ideas into these players. Something has to give. If we don't get results soon enough, you can't sack 22 players, so somebody has to go, right? Now, for a lot of fans, that's not enough, right? And, they want to make it about Ineos and the legacy of the last 15 to 20 years. That's fine. For me personally, I think one, we can get more out from the players than we currently are, and two, Amorim can make better decisions. So I'm with you, Luani. I wish he would put players in their best positions. I think I wish he would try to get the strengths basically out of the players. But I expect that on the journey to Amorim, eventually Amorim or anybody else, right? Because I don't believe in this idea of selling the club to Qatar and that will solve all the problem because they will spend £200 million every summer. I don't believe in that, right? So for Amorim or any other manager to be successful at United, I think they have to be allowed to make mistakes and to shape the club in their own image. I wish it wouldn't be as painful as this, right? I share the feeling. But I think if any of us agreed with, what's his name, Ralph Ragnick, that the club needed heart surgery, I don't think we've gotten that surgery since. I think this is the closest we've come to the open heart surgery since that time, and it's painful.
It's not open heart surgery, Sean. We've still got players from Louis Van Gaal. Let me just get this super chat, and then you can carry on. Listen, Sean, that's exactly how Barada Wilcox and Jim analysed Manchester United. That's the mentality that's keeping Amorim at his job.
Go ahead, we need Sean. Open heart surgery. We just need the right surgeon. This guy over here, I don't know if he's a plumber or something. Amorim. Freaking.
Yeah, I mean, let's say from Bumaye or Nuruddin, I think I've been talking for a while. You guys are free to.
Yeah, I mean, I fundamentally disagree with you, and I think football is about opinions. I totally do not see it the way you see it. I see people who don't know what the F they're doing. I see people. If Sean, the people, if majority of the fan base had any faith in the people who own this football club and the footballing structure, I think most of us will be patient because we would see and we would believe in the game plan. We would believe in the plan to get Manchester United back within 3 to 4 years. But there is zilch. Ineos' success in sport, it's zilch. We've seen what's happening at Nice. I made a video about what's happening at Nice. They own Nice still. And now it's got to that desperation where literally fans are assaulting the players and the coaching staff. And I never wanted to get like that because they're employed. They don't employ themselves. Amarin didn't hire himself. Players don't bring themselves here. Nobody gives them to each other these wages. It's the people who make the decisions. And in football, unfortunately, it's about ownership is as vital as anything else as the football structure. And at the moment in time, there is zero faith. But because of the xenophobia in this country, right, and Loki and the racism in this country, Glazers in 2018 put in to try to regenerate the area to build a stadium. 2018, the council will not have anything to do with him. So they bring Jim on board. He buys $1 billion. He spends $1.3 billion for 28% of the shares of this football club. He then takes in charge of the footballing structure. And it's been 2 years now. This Christmas is 2 years. A year where he took over, another year where he hired a coach. And in the 2 years, Manchester United have gone from the expectations of fans, like yourself, Sean. You said it. The first word you said, my expectation. Your expectation has been lowered, and you're accepting mediocrity to such an extent. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you know the biggest thing, Sean? One thing about you, I would say, it was just all you. There are thousands and thousands in the stadium who agree with you. That's the most scary thing and the most painful thing. In terms of how I saw the game, the idea, I mean, somebody hit it on the nail. Big up to this person. Big up Mukhtar. Ahmed says, we sat back scoring the first goal. No urgency in creating the second. What a pathetic display. And the reason why that, to me, is not anything to do with Manchester United other than the PR we were sold about this football club, about Jim bringing Manchester back into this and all of that bullshit. These xenophobic British newspapers, and none of them will ever ask any of them. Manchester United are $1.5 billion in debt. No other football club in the Premier League is $1.3 billion in debt. None of them. Not one, even teams in the bottom. There's not one football club that carries the amount of debt we carry as a football club. None. And nobody will ever ask him. We've got clientele. We've got access journalism. That's what we've got. Cronies who just do fucking PR after PR. To me, the idea of being Amarin, making it about Amarin, was done for me after the Europa League final. And the players that we have and the way he wants to play football is like Jupiter and fucking, what's the furthest planet from Jupiter? Uranus? That is how far we're worlds, planets apart in terms of what he wants to do. And his football and his lack of respect for midfield and in Premier League physicality, it's shocking. It's beyond shocking. Any other football club, this guy would be gone. Because the people who run those football clubs would know that they made a humongous error and they would fix it straight away. And that is what I'm saying to you. For me, my analysis is, Bombaye, I don't know if you're there, you like to come in, is that it's not about him anymore. It's not about him anymore.
You know what, Nuruddin, I hear you and I hear Ben, yeah. And I hear Jamie Wayne and I hear lots of people in the chat and what they're saying about the Glazers and Ineos. This is the one constant that hasn't changed. But me as well, I'm with Luwani, bro. I always have been. I hate the fact that I'm resigned to the fact that to basically replace the owners through, I don't know, pressure, like you said, 25,000 on the pitch and stuff. Okay, I don't have an issue with any of that, honestly. But then I'm a football fan, man. I tune in like everybody on, tonight, thinking we should win this game. And then for me, I thought that was awful. Like I thought the Everton game was awful. Is there managers out there that have done much better than Ruben Amorim, just on points alone, on trophies alone? There is. I'd rather be there right now than with this. Is there a manager out there that is going to come in and play football that is suited to this team, maybe play a better brand of football, get a better tune out of this team? Yeah, there is. That's what I can change. That's what we are able to change. That's what will have to change, whether Ineos and the Glazers like it or not, because then you keep asking me about sustainability. This type of football, with this type of goals conceded, as you put it, with this type of, mid-table finishes, if that's what it is, in the second season, that is certainly not sustainable. And at that point, it gets from the pundits, from me, from you, from Luani, from Sean, from all of us, too much to say, hey, man, Ruben, you know what? We're not saying that you've got a free reign of everything, but God damn it, man, you got to do better than this. I'm the first to call out the progress that I've seen, but you have to expect some level of progress in comparison to what went last season. That was just, that was abysmal. So we have had some progress. There is a little bit that you can see the idea. There is the idea that we are further up, we are scoring more goals. But that progress has stagnated about a month ago, and I've not seen us kick on. So the corner that we started to turn is kind of disappeared again. That is not what I was expecting at Christmas. I was expecting by now to have a level of results, but to start seeing football that you can believe in, that tells you Ruben Amorim is actually taking us somewhere. But we seem to have that inconsistency and the drop off in performance. And when you play a whole 90 minutes like today, and the players know it and the fans know it, the whole world knows, these two games, West Ham and Wolves, are a tremendous opportunity to really capitalise and solidify our place in and around that European position. We're probably not going to get another nice little two games that are winnable against both relegation fodder again this season. Now Christmas comes into the real crunch, and we shafted it today. So all we can change, Dino, is the manager, bro. And that's why you'll say to me, Eddie Howe, I'll say Conte, I'll say Nagelsmann, somebody will say Enrique. They are better managers out there than Ruben Amorim. And Ruben Amorim is trying, drill the players into the system, but it's not quite working, bro. And some players, as Luani said it rightly, are regressing. The form is not permanent. It's moments, as moments are in a game. They're as inconsistent as the game itself. This is a terrible thing when I can't have any faith to continue with you. And I was with Ten Hag till the end. You know what I'm like, man. It takes a lot for me to say, you know what, it's time. But we are getting there with Ruben Amorim. Today is massive for me. That's a big opportunity gone, bro. And all I can do is say to you, look, it's time to change the manager. It's not like you're talking to somebody that is fighting you, saying, no, I want the Glazers, or I don't think any of that. We're all in agreement. But I just feel what is in my power and what is within the realm of possibility is always to change a manager, bro. Liverpool went through manager after manager after manager after manager. Chelsea have done the same recently. Barcelona have done that. Real Madrid have done that. Eventually they hit and things turn. But we are not getting anything in terms of turn. And I mean a really good turn where you start to think like, yeah, it's West Ham today. Should be 3 points, and it is 3 points, and it's a decent performance, and you do what you're expected. Today is completely contrary, not only in terms of the performance was lacking any real substance. Never did I feel that and it was like third gear the whole game. And that is really worrying for me because as players and as a manager, when the game finished, you could see Ruben's face, man. You could see the reaction of the fans and you could see the reaction of some of the players. You fucked up today big time. Big time. So these things matter, man. So that's why I said to you, bro, it's a new manager for me only. And there is a manager that is going to do better than this out there. And we've had managers that have done better than this, bro.
Bomaye, there's even a couple of intangible that Amorim is missing. When you look at somebody like the Aston Villa manager, Unai Emery, for example, at the beginning of this season, he was just losing game left and right. And Nobody could pinpoint why he was losing game. But this guy, one thing he has, you see that his man management is on point. When they were going through that rough run, he still have his star boy, what's his name? Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, he still know how to manage this guy to a point that this guy single-handedly won him at least six points. When you shift to Amorim, you look at Amorim, you say, okay, when everything else failed, do you have your man management on point? Are you how many players have you fallen out with? What can you do that have nothing to do with tactic that can bail you out of a situation? Do you have your I don't know, a personnel change, something that you can put your hands on that can single-handedly win us a game when our individual are stuck? You don't see that.
There's no plan B. I don't see plan
B. Yeah, we don't have a plan B.
The players came on, bro, and today it didn't really change. You brought on 3 players. It was wide and slide balls into the box still. By and large, that was the game today.
No, I do agree with Nuruddin, right? When Nuruddin said that there's an issue with the ownership, we have to look at the ownership. But it's okay. Yeah. I think we have to look at them when it comes to the standpoint of competence, because what Nuruddin said about that was their plan since the beginning. No, I don't agree on that, though. Why would the Ineos come in here with the objective of thanking their own business? No businessman does that.
I agree with you that you could definitely say, and this has been one of the major arguments when somebody's trying to say the Glazers have spent. Yeah, but it's not yielding anything. City spent, look what it yielded. Liverpool spent, Chelsea spent, it's yielding something. We are not really turning a corner and making serious, tangible, sustainable progress where we can hand the baton to the next one and keep going on this journey. The incompetence in terms of the managers that you are bringing in, the payouts that you're having to give, and they're not bringing us any closer, and they're spending a shitload of money. It's mismanagement. Manchester United last year is 15th, didn't win nothing. This year you're not going to win shit. It might be not even a top 6 finish at this rate. So and this is incompetence, and they have to take responsible for that.
I'll just say this. Let me just say this.
One thing that also irks me. Why do we keep comparing?
1 second, Luwani. So hold your thought there. 1 second. Big up to Windy. Says, please keep your thoughts on Shaka Hislop diagnosed with cancer. Shaka is a former West Ham Newcastle goalkeeper, ESPN analyst, and my fellow Trinidadian. Yeah, he's a fantastic pundit. I really like his football takes. He was a fantastic goalkeeper. He played in the Premier League for a lot of years. Sending him love to him and his family and friends in this difficult time. And we wish him a speedy recovery, and we're sending him healing, universal healing energy. Big up to you, Windy. Sending love and solidarity with people of Trinidad and the fishermen and the fishing people of Trinidad, where Trump murdered just fishermen off the coast of their own country, their island, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Just people double tap assassination, execution that was done on the Trinidadian fishermen. It's tragic, beyond tragic. But that's the world we live in. Fuck the imperial estate, man. Fuck the US. Ben, you're back.
Apologies, man. I had duty calls, bro.
It's all right. In terms of the game, what did you think about it the first half? Let me just give. Actually, sorry, Luwani. Luwani, you carry on your point, and then we'll go to Ben after you.
Go on, Luwani.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. The point I was trying to make is, why do we also keep comparing this season to last season? Last season was an aberration. Regardless of how down we are as a club, we're never supposed to finish 15. It's almost like if last season was a false flag operation by Amorim. Now he's coming and John's trying to fix the same problem that he created. And now because he fixed it just a little bit, he looked like a hero. No, we should never be accepting this nonsense.
No, we're still only playing for results, guys. At this point, it can't just be 15 points. It has to be now. We have to start to see at this stage, Christmas time, after a year and a half, an addition of players, some fluidity, some cohesion, the ability to impose ourselves on a game. and have the qualities to be a little bit more dynamic than just it's one-dimensional. No matter who comes on, when a team is low blocking, we're really struggling. And even today, we've got some good fortune for the low goal with the deflection. He sits to him nicely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a bad day at the office, and I've been behind the manager, but I'm starting to ask myself, where is the continual progress? I acknowledge progress, but progress is not a word that has an end at this stage. If that's the progress and this is the end result of the progress, then definitely he this is not the right guy. This regime has to change. I'm still on board on the basis that we will continue to improve, but that improvement is not forthcoming. And as you say, Dino, we seem to take a step back and step forward and two back. Today's two back. Everton was two back, and these are games that are winnable games. 10 men at home. West Ham, to me, sorry, Luani, I didn't see anything from West Ham. I really thought that that's a team you should beat. Now it's Wolves next. God knows what's going to happen there. They are abject. They're dreadful. I don't care what anyone says. They are so bad.
I think when it comes to the game, I actually thought West Ham were pretty shit, and that's like it. Just I don't know whether we're just worse than them, which I do think we are worse than them, because I still think there's still a lot of deadwood in this fucking squad. I was gutted to see obviously the captain still start. Obviously, I was hoping for Manu to start, man, but that'll never happen. But I mean, one thing I'll give credit to the captain is he's never injured, man. He's a fucking machine. That's probably one thing I'll give him credit. But I think
did you hear that, Sean?
I think do you know what it is, man? I think Ahmad and Bumo had a solid game, and I felt kind of sorry for Xerxes as well. But Cunha looked very bright today as well. But at the end of the day, do you know what it is, people? It's what I just see out there and what I've been seeing in the last 10 years, probably slightly under Van Gaal as well. There was a wee bit of coaching here and there, but when it comes to like these players as well, I just see our style of play in these last 10 years. There's no style of play. There's no, possession. There's no counter attack. It's all individual brilliance. That's how I describe Man United. It's individual brilliance. That's our style of play. I think that's what's been keeping us going for the past 10 years, especially for under Ollie as well. I remember with Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, Pogba, Bruno, it was just individual brilliance. There's just nothing, no one linking up as well. The midfield was just left open again. I don't really blame Mazraoui for the goal, because he tried his best to to defend it, but at the same time, people our set pieces have been absolutely shocking defending set pieces. Whoever our set piece coach is, man, Jesus Christ, bro. Even even in my team, we never do zonal marking, man. Zonal marking I don't know why it got implemented in this modern day football. It's just ridiculous, man. But I thought I don't really know who would be my man of the match. Probably Cunha, because I think what I seen from Cunha tonight was just he just made things happen. And I thought Mbumo was a wee bit unlucky at times.
Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, Wan-Bissaka. Oh yeah. For West Ham, Wan-Bissaka was unbelievable. Now, not to the fact that I liked Wan-Bissaka. I thought he was absolutely dreadful at United. But decent performance from Wan-Bissaka. But at the same time, man, we just gotta look at ourselves. And right now, we just have no identity. And like I said, this is not Ruben Amorim. This is Ineos' game plan. This is Ineos' tactics. This is Jason Wilcox. This is Omar Barado, Potato Head. And look, Amorim looks like a dead man. He's just walking down the road, and there's just no one about. He's just in an empty soul right now. And you know what? I feel bad, because one thing, people, we always say at this football club, it ruins you and it destroys the living shit out of you. And like I said, it's on us. We have to look at ourselves. It's not the players. Yes, obviously there's still a lot of deadwood in this team, but there's far bigger things in this Man United team than players and Ruben Amorim, and we all know what it is. But people disagree with it. And if people want to say as well, what do you call? Just sack Ruben Amorim. Sack Ruben Amorim. Trust me, Ben. You gotta believe. We'll bring in another coach and it'll all be okay. The players will perform. Nah, I'm not. Miss me with that bullshit, man. Honestly, miss me with that. And do you know what? I wouldn't surprise me if Wolves beat us, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I know Ruben Amorim's out of his depth. He's got no system. Well, I wouldn't say he's a bad coach. I just think he doesn't suit the Premier League, and that's it, man. You can't play two-man midfield in Premier League, and that's it. But at the same time, it's not on him. It's on Ruben. It's on the Ineos, and that's it, man. That's my case. But yeah, what does everyone else think?
Big up Irish. Big up. I mean,
Yeah, big
to
up, man.
talk about individual performances, I don't think you can pick when everybody's was shit tonight. I don't think you can pick on just one player. I really think it'd be unfair. But yeah, people, we've not even liked the video. We've been like, more of you voted on the poll. We asked the question, who's this on? Ineos Glazer 58% or Amorim 42%. Big up to the therapy army for that. But now I've asked you how many of you like the video, and none of you. We've not even got 130 of you voted in the poll, and we haven't even got 100 likes on the video. And it's a similar button that you hit to vote and to like the video. I don't know what is going on. Why are you so allergic to like?
Come on, people.
I know. I thought Casemiro tonight was all right. I thought Buemo had a shocker. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought every touch was dreadful. First touch, every ball being picked out the air was awful. Ahmad was all right. Luke Shaw was all right.
Mazarawi was good. Mazarawi.
Lenioro, some redemption there after the last one. But that's it. Bruno rubbish tonight. But I thought Cass was good.
I mean, Bumaye, the point that you just made, I think for me is where I'm looking to hang my hat, right? On a night like this, on a day like this, where we love Mbeumo, superstar, but it wasn't clicking for him today. I wish there was somebody else we could rely on in the team, and I think those kind of margins could have been the difference for us today. That's just my own view of the match.
Sean, when you talk about margins, bro, you're not wrong, but you see, we used to have a problem where I'm a Mourinho fan. Yeah, I'm biased. I'm in love with Mourinho. I love Mourinho. But Nuruddin, what would happen is Nuruddin would tell me, I hate this guy. He's shit. So we'd defend. We'd nick a 1-0. Then I'd come out guns blazing saying we got 3 points and we didn't lose. It's part of building the culture. But when Mourinho does 30% possession and we get pumped, that's when Nuruddin comes out, all fire and brimstone, and I've just got to stay quiet. It's the way it goes. When Amorim plays like tonight, Sean, general outfield play like tonight, where we're not really offering anything at home against the team we should be, and it's just constantly one-dimensional, just crossing balls into the box. As you said, no chances really created. We could have lost the frigging game. And then we don't get the 3 points. It changes everything, brother. If we got the 3 points and got out there tonight, we'd like, all right, it's shit. We live to fight another day was probably the narrative. No problem. Nuruddin will ask me, is it sustainable? And on that performance, I'd say, Dino, no, it's not sustainable. That's not good. I'm not seeing the progress. The only thing we take is the points. But I don't want to just take the points in the second season at Christmas. I want to have some sort of entertainment value. I want to be playing some football where we left tonight and thought, well-deserved win. But I'm not doing that yet. At what point how long do I give? Because as we get a bad rap, United fans, but you know what? I think we've been quite generous with the man. Last season, no problem. We take 15th. We lost to Spurs. Stay in the job. You need some players. That was the narrative. No worries. This season now we got some players, but the football, bro, it's not there, and that's what is the really worrying thing at this point.
That's. So, Bumaye, where do we go from here?
I'm not contending with. If I can respond to Bumaye real quick, I'm not contending with that, Bumaye. I'm not saying you shouldn't be worried, right? And I think a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. Maybe I should do a better job of communicating my thoughts, but I'm not saying you shouldn't be concerned. I think you're right to be concerned. I'm concerned as well. I think we're all concerned. So I just want that to be clear.
Yeah. Well, Nuruddin, where do we go from here, bro?
Yeah.
For me, we go to Wolves, and
Oh, Jesus.
and what happens
They
is,
get eaten,
what-
yeah.
well, this is what I'm saying. We get eaten by the Wolves, then you know how bad it's going to get,
Oh my
Nuruddin.
God.
This is all that happens, isn't it? You remember Ten Hag, you remember Ollie start to jump ship more and more and more as they dig the grave deeper and deeper and deeper. Nothing's changing. Look at Slot now. The man won the league last year. They're saying, get him out. Salah's done. He should not be playing. We're not the only ones. But honestly, man, it will just get to the point where that really isn't sustainable. And my only solution, bro, let's get a new manager. What else can we actually do, bro? Honestly, I wish I could just say, if you said to me, Bumaye, in order of priority, what should we do? I'd say, okay, go Glazers out, Ineos out, get your new guys, then manager out. But I can't do anything. We can't even get 2,000 people to go on the pitch. Forget 25,000. So what's going to happen is the manager will get changed, and then you might, and then that's all you can do, Ben. You know,
we can though. I disagree, Bombay. Though we can get 2,000 people on the pitch. It's just because we haven't tried. We're just too lazy to sit back.
Okay, look, let's see what I tell you what.
No, wait, sorry. Hold on, Bumaye.
Bro,
Let's play
we've seen it already. We've seen it, bro.
Let's play out Ben's. Let's play out Ben's revolutionary scenario now, right?
We've seen it already.
Let's see, Brent. Let's see
we've
what
seen it
happens
already.
first, right? The season finishes, and we've got a mid-table finish with shit football.
Yeah.
Or what'll happen first is you'll get 2,000 people on the pitch because you.
No, wait now, Bumaye. Let's play out the scenario, Ben. So we get 2,000 people on the pitch. What then?
Well, so what? Hang on. Wait. Let me just rate.
Ben, can you just hold that there? Can you just hold that?
Yeah,
hold
go ahead,
that thought right there.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
How you doing, Jarvis?
How you doing? Big up Jarvis, man.
I'm sorry you watched that pile of shit and then you had to try to analyze it. I was actually there, and it was embarrassing. After we go 1-0 up, and we think we can close out a game when we did not show anything this season to suggest that we can get a 1-0 win. We conceded. We only kept one clean sheet this season, and that was against Sunderland this season. And we leaked goals right, left, and centre. So the idea that we think from 65 minutes onwards that we're going to sit on our laurels at Old Trafford and not attack. And we saw that you and everybody else who watched that game saw with their own eyes, we were passing sideways other than going forward. And I'm right in the corner by the tunnel, linked in with the Stretford end. And all of the Stretford end are like, come on, get it forward.
And you're making the case for another manager just with that.
But because I don't blame Amorim, because this is the thing. I told you, innit? To me, Amorim is not about Amorim. This is Ineos game plan, Ineos Glazer game plan. If you can't see that for yourselves, I don't know what else I need to explain. But Jarvis, it's 75,000. Ineos and Glazers don't understand the fabric and the culture of this football club. We don't sit on a 1-0 lead. It's not in our DNA. It's never been in our history. It's not who we are. It's not what the expectations of the fan base is in that stadium on a cold, rainy Old Trafford night. We don't sit on our laurels 1-0. We've never done. We were never that type of team. Fergie's teams are amazing centre-backs, and they could keep a 1-0, right? We'd be throwing the kitchen sink and the baby and the bath, everything, to get that goal, to get the 3 points. But we haven't got that. It's just unbelievable to me. Is it about Amorim, or is it about the football structure and the people who own the football club? What is it about for you, Jarvis? Because I don't know what more evidence you need to see.
Well, first of all, Nuruddin, we talked about this yesterday. We did a preview. We talked about the game plan. Nuno Espirito Santos coming. He didn't play with the back five as we expected. He played with the midfield five. Bowen was very deep when playing, and Callum Wilson was targeting Aiden Heaven in that first half. And they overloaded the central of the pitch. They didn't allow us to play there, so they forced us out on the wings, and they had one guy, especially Fanbase. Wow, what a performance. I'm so impressed by that guy. And, we talked about that. Thou shall not pass was the words I was using yesterday. And, it happened. And again, if I was Ruben Amorim, I would have been aware of this. I would have figured this out. I would have understood that this would be the game. So I would try to figure out another way to beat this West Ham team. But I thought when we got the first goal that the game would open a little bit more up and there would be more space for us. Well, we totally gave away the initiative. We subbed into DMs and we subbed Dallo for Ugarte. He didn't do better against Wan-Bissaka. He did worse, and I think the worst sub was actually taking off.
Dogu, we subbed in Dogu. Yeah, no, Ugarte.
Ugarte and Dogu. Yeah, but I think the worst sub was taking off Xerxes, because I think Xerxes had a poor first half, but in the second half he started to wander more, and he was more involved of the play. So when he was on the ball, he could actually hold on to the ball. As we talked about yesterday, me and Boumbaye, I didn't rate Xerxes, receiving the ball with the centre back in his back, but when he roamed, he was much better. He got control and he could turn with the ball. So we started a lot of our attacks. But when we subbed Xerxes, we only had Mbeumo on top, and Mbeumo, he's a good player, but it's a little bit one-dimensional about him, especially playing as a number 9, because it's all about power and pace, and facing the goal. It's not about hold-up play, and we gave the initiative to West Ham. We didn't try. It felt like we rolled over and died. We didn't go for the kill, and we could easily have won this game, if we had gone for the kill. But again, as you said, I totally agree. Letting West Ham have the initiative and try to secure a 1-0 lead at Old Trafford, that's criminal. And when you read about Ruben Amorim's comments after the game, again, he said something like, it's frustrating because when you look at the game, we have the game under control, but we didn't win. Like, it was a surprise that we conceded a goal when you look at our history. He talked about us controlling the tempo and created the chances, but we didn't. We didn't control the tempo. I feel that we don't have the ability. We don't have the players to control the tempo. Casemiro can't control the tempo of the game. Neither can Bruno. None of them can. They try to play through balls and set in tackles and intercept and all of that. But it's not about controlling the ball. When Bruno tries to control the tempo, he puts his arm up and turns around and play a back pass. That's him trying to control the tempo. It's not how you control the tempo. But for me, I said it on my own stream. I feel that Ruben Amorim is a guy who have read a self-help book, and he's trying to preach what he just read. But it's not coming from the heart when he says things. He doesn't walk as he talks. He says a lot of good things. He's a good talker in press conferences and in interviews. But when it comes to how he acts in the games, he's a coward. And that tells me he acts like a fraud. It's not genuine how he talks about players. He talks about attitude. He criticizes Dogu for being erratic. He criticizes Kobe Mainoo for not doing his job properly. He's criticizing players, and he goes very personal about their personalities on the pitch. But he can't handle the pressure himself. So that's why I feel when you criticize others, you should be the man in charge and you should be calm in situations. But he doesn't know how to fix things in-game management. The subs today that came with Ugarte and subbing off Xerxes, those subs were pre-planned and it had nothing to do with what was going on the pitch. And it tells me the guy needs help. If we are going to keep Ruben Amorim, we have to bring in someone with Premier League experience to stand beside him and hold his hand, because he's like a kid, He's not an adult. He doesn't know how to handle a pressured situation. So for me, I'm starting to be more and more critical to Ruben Amorim and the way he talks, the way he managed the games. And I think, this is not a coincidence now. We've seen it against Fulham. We've seen it against Nottingham Forest. We've seen it against Spurs. We saw it against Everton. We saw it against Grimsby. We saw it against whole of last season. We are squandering away points, and it's on Ruben Amorim, how it's up to him. He's the guy in charge. I'm not putting away the pressure on the Glazers, on Ineos. I know that, but, he's not the right man to lead us into to Premier League titles and Champions Leagues. I don't see it happening. Or then we have to give him 5 years.
Jarvis, right? I would like to put something to you guys. Maybe somebody can explain to me what's going on from a tactical standpoint of the game.
Luana, just hold it there. I wanted to go back to Ben. Then I'll bring you in because Ben wanted to say something. Wanted to answer something that was said. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
It was
Sean,
about the fans getting on the pitch.
Yes. Sean and Bombay. So when the Super League was getting announced, right? At near enough all the top Premier League clubs, Chelsea were there. They were outside protesting at Stamford Bridge, Old Trafford, Man City, Liverpool. They were having none of it. We then heard the Chelsea fans, the ownership spoke. I don't know who the owner was at the time, but he spoke and said Chelsea will not be entering into the Super League, right? And the Glazers were always about the Super League. They're always about the Super League. So we then protested, but we did something better than a protest. We actually got into the stadium. Gary Neville was there. Jamie Carragher was there. There was a few other Sky Sports pundits that were there. They were getting a wee bit kind of worried in case, obviously, the public are coming into the stadium. God knows what can happen to, obviously, the Sky pundits and all that sort of shit. Anyone can go up to any of them, obviously. So they lose the security control, right? They're all on the pitch. The game gets cancelled, right? The first ever game that's ever got cancelled in Man United history was Man United versus Liverpool. We were on the pitch for it was probably about a few hours. I mean, Nurden was there. Nurden could speak about it. But if we can do that, right? And I've seen other progression as well. The last season, there was a protest at the end of the. There was no. Hang on, wait, no. Hold on.
You're not asking the question I asked.
No.
But so I want to ask a clarifying one. So 2,000, 20,000 fans get on the pitch. They cancel the game. I just want to be clear. What are we trying to achieve? We want Ineos to step down. That's the end game. And what happens?
No. Ineos step out.
And Glazers, right? Both of them. Yeah. Okay. You want both of them to step down. Yes. So 20,000 fans get on the pitch, and then we cancel the game. And then Ineos and Glazers are like, we're not stepping down. What then?
We keep going.
We cancel another game.
We keep going. We keep going. And if you see on Ajax and AC Milan, they although I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's been 20 years. They've taken every ounce of soul out of this fucking football club. It's getting to the point which I don't actually agree with it, but you know what? I've been supporting Man United for so many fucking years, and I just want to see my club back. It might get to the point where we might have to do something to Old Trafford. The fans might have to do something to Old Trafford. If we're getting into the stadium, we might actually have to do something bad stuff, and that might actually have to happen. And that's happened in Man City. That's happened in AC Milan, Ajax, everywhere that they've got rid of their owners. I remember in the old stadium. I can't remember the old stadium's name in Man City. What do you call the old stadium? Does anyone know the old stadium for Manchester City?
Main Road. Yes, the Manchester City fans, they just went inside and they just left that place in an absolute disgrace. It was a completely filthy fucking mess. There was so much damage everywhere. But you know what they did? They succeeded. They got rid of them, and they brought in the Qataris. Obviously, he's a rightful knob because obviously he supports Israel, and we all know what kind of fraud he is. Yes. But bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm not hearing any of this bollocks saying that it's impossible. You're chatting shit, man. I'm sorry, man. If you're either with us or against us, and if any of you think that sacking Ruben Amorim once again will fix it, no, we'll fix most of our problems. Honestly, bro, you're just gonna see constant failure. You're gonna see this club rot to hell.
Everybody's with you. Can we do both?
We're not though. We're not though. We're not though.
No, everybody's
We're not. We're not.
Can we do? Ben, can we do this? You do, fans.
Yes.
Do the thing. Get them out. Nobody is gonna. You're not gonna get resistance from any United fans. Nothing of substance. But at the same time, maybe let's change the manager too if it continues like this, and we have a really bad season, and there's no progression with football. Do you know what I mean? Let's do both.
Yes, and I'm all for it. But I want to.
There is a reason why when we've spoken about managers, you keep saying Eddie Howe. I like Eddie Howe as well.
Yes, but I don't want him to come anywhere near with this ownership in charge. Bombay. That's the difference.
So, what would you have us do if, let's say, it's going to take a couple of years to get him out? Protests going on the pitch. Should we? What you're going to say to me is,
you're not going to like it.
Let's go to the conference if it means they go out, isn't it? Let's get relegated. Let's get destroyed.
No. The relegation bollocks is never going to happen. I'm sorry, people. It's never going to happen. As much as I really want relegation, it's not going to happen, people.
Yeah, but if I say to you, there's a manager out there that's going to get us in the top 4 regular, and he will do the job good. You probably would say, no, I still don't want him, because that would mean that they stay, isn't it?
No, not really, man. Because at the end of the day, the cancer's still there. Like basically, realistically, you're only removing a tumor in the manager. The cancer's still there, so you can't cure cancer unless you get fucking rid of it. So that's how I always describe the Glazers and Ineos as cancer. It's the main fucking tumor. Ruben Amorim, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, David Moyes, they're all like small wee tumors. Like we've got rid of them.
The current medicine, Amorim, the cancer's running rife, it seems. What if we can get a guy to administer some good palliative care, stabilize things, make your life a little bit comfortable? Wouldn't you rather have that? Or are you saying comfort means the medics think they've achieved their goals and done their job? That's why I'm jumping off this. Nobody here is saying that they wouldn't like to change the ownership. But by the same token, realistically, if we're discussing the substance of this issue, to me, is currently a manager that is not really, like I said, we're still okay with just taking points, even though we might have
He's out of his depth.
He's out of his depth.
It doesn't look like it's going to work. And I wanted, and I backed him, and I've been here saying this was good, that's good, I understand. But really, honestly speaking, it seems Liverpool and Brighton were so long away because of Everton and Forest, and today, man, killed me today, because this was 2 very nice winnable games, solidify our spot right in that mix, push ourselves in there. I don't think we'll get this chance again. And not only that because we drew, but the performance level didn't change. We played West Ham exactly how me and Jarvis said yesterday. Yeah. Let's not play them by just wide and slide, balls into the box, crosses to nobody that are getting cleared, and there was no alternative. Yeah. There was no alternative. That's what kills it.
Right, go ahead, Trebles. 1 second, Bombay. Go ahead, Trebles. Go ahead, Trebles.
Yo, big up everybody, man.
Big up,
everybody.
How'd you like that, Trebs?
Yeah, I'm used to it, bro. I'm not even pissed off. I'll be honest. I'm used to it, bro. I listen, big up everybody. Free Palestine. Fuck the Zionist. Nuruddin, do you know me today, I was doing a space on Twitter. Yeah, on X, what did I say? Kiddie FC. Every time they do this, we have a chance to go top 4. We have a chance to go 5th. We have a chance to go 5th. We're 4 points off top 4. We're this, and that. Know who your fucking gaffer is. Ruben, coward, fraud, scammer, sufferer. Yeah, I call him sufferer because he likes to use the word suffer. Look, yeah, the owners are a problem. I'm the one that always crashes on the owners. I always slate the owners. I would never praise them, even if they've done one thing right, which is Ineos and Glazers. I've never praised them, even if they do the right things, because I despise them. Two cancers of the football club. Yeah, if I had a choice between Amrun and Glazers and Ineos leaving, I'd rather choose Glazers and Ineos leaving first, because the manager comes and go. But the facts in front of us, this manager here is absolutely drowning. He's not got a fucking clue. Let's go back to last week game against Everton. Yeah, we start from down, we go to this game. 10 men, you're playing defensive. Today, another example. Kobe Manu is sitting there on the bench. You playing and you bring on Lisandro Martinez and you take Shaw off. Yeah, you could take Shaw off, that's gone. Bring an attacker. You take him off, bring an attacker. I've realized this, yeah? And I hate defensive managers. But I'm going to give a few managers that are defensive of flowers here, because they're the managers that can scam 1-0 wins. Simeone, Jose Mourinho, Allegri, that's three. They know how to play 1-0 and get away with it. Yeah? They would probably play 1-0 at United. This manager here, he keeps doing it. I seen it against Spurs, and we got bailed out by De Ligt. I seen it against Forest, we got bailed out by Ahmad. This manager does not know how to kill games off. I'm going to blame him. The reason why I'm going to blame him is it comes tactics with it. His tactic is, when you need a goal, bring on a defender. He's done it against the European final. You had Garnacho on the bench. Yeah? You bring him on late when the game's nearly done. Why couldn't you bring him off straight away after half-time? Why could you bring Manu on? This manager here does not want to win, guys. He does not want to win. It's clear every single time. You know what he showed me in 1 year? Good talk on a press conference. He's like these people. Give us at the beginning when it comes to the chat, but when in real life he gets punched in the face. Let's look at the stack here. He has 18 losses as a manager in total. It said here he has 10 draws and 13 wins. This is bad. I remember people wanted Oli sacked, and I was part of it for far less. They wanted Moyes sacked. They wanted LVG sacked. They wanted Ten Hag sacked. Yeah, I wanted Ten Hag sacked. This guy's worse. No matter what you say about the owners, yeah, this manager cannot have next season, because this season is pretty much a write-off in terms of we're not going to get top four. We're going to finish 8th or 9th. Nordin, I'll stand by our predicament. We're finishing 9th or 10th, or maybe 8th. We're not finishing in the European spots because.
But Trebs, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, but let me just finish this off.
The next coach right? Do you expect these people to get the next coach right?
Me?
Yeah. Do you trust them to get the next appointment?
I wouldn't trust them with a fiver, mate.
Well, there you go then. So
what I'm saying, Nordin, what I'm saying is the facts are right in front of us. Yeah, that this manager right now is underperforming, and Ahmad and what's his name, Brian, are going AFCON. You know how much? I put a tweet out. I'm glad that they're going, not because I want them to go. It's because the majority of this fan base scapegoat them too, but they let Cunha and Bruno Fernandes off the hook. Where was Bruno today? I wish he never played today. Do you know that? Why did he have to play? Where was Bruno today? Where was Cunha? Where were they? Do you know what? Hats off. I think Luke Shaw done well. I'm not going to lie. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he done all right. I think he done well. I think he was our only player. He should have got man of the match against Crystal Palace, but they gave it to Bruno because he got assist. The GA kills football, bro. I hate GA people. They kill football. They look at the GA, but the performance, they won't look at it. Luke Shaw doesn't get the man of the match last game against Palace, but Bruno gets it because he got assist.
Okay, Triples. Last word from you. We'll go around. The last word from everybody, because I'm so sick and tired of talking about this bullshit. I'm drained tired. I went to the game. I've lost my voice. I tried to cheer on the team. That's what I do. For the 90 minutes, I don't boo. I cheer the team on. Kumbaya knows I sing the songs. It's how I escape from the pressures of life, you know, going to the game to do that, and it's causing me more headache and more heartache and more stress. I might stop going soon, honestly.
How many Cantonas?
5 Cantona.
How many?
5 Cantona, 4 Cantona, 3 Cantona, 2 Cantona, and
Eric
Cantona.
Cantona. Yeah,
Just want to, before my last word, just want to put a question quick to the panel in terms of the.
Before you say that, Luwani, let me just read this out
Yep.
from Windy. Big up to Windy, all the way awake, late, watching us in the Washington, D.C. Remember, Arsenal was saying get rid of their owners once they started making top 4 consistently. Crickets about their owners. The same with United. Yeah, you got a point. Go ahead, Luwani. Last word from everybody, people.
Okay. Tactically today, I'm not too sure what Amorim was trying to do, so I wish somebody can explain to me. Yesterday I was talking about how we will use Bruno to cheat, trying to find that space between Magassa and Mavropanos, or Todibo Mavropanos. He did that, but he looked. My concern is our left hand side. What's going on there? The use of Cunha and Dalo. I don't understand, and also. On our left hand side in the back, notice last game as well. Luke Shaw is being aggressive, stepping into the midfield to try to win that 50-50. He did it this game too. But what happened when he doesn't win it and that ball get knocked into the midfield? He get played behind him in that space that he vacated. Then at that point, Dalo and whoever is marking him are in a foot race. Why don't Amorim just invert Dalo? Instead of Luke Shaw being aggressive, why don't he tell Dalo to be aggressive, step into that space, that midfield that Bruno vacate when Bruno goes up, so that at least Luke Shaw have everything in front of him? You know, so that's my question, my tactical question today. Now, for my last word, look, we cannot say anything we want about Amorim, about the football club, and about the Glazer. At the end of the day, it's about responsibility. This manager does not take enough responsibility for the mistake he's making. I think he's caught a deer in the headlight. I think he's out of his depth. When he have the players, we can talk about adding more players to him, giving him more players, okay? But a system should never a system and a tactic of a coach should never prevail over the natural ability of his players. It should be the platform on which these players express themselves. It should be their plan B. It should be something they fall on when they cannot unlock a defense, or they cannot, they don't wake up well that day. In that sense, Amorim need to simplify the thing for his players. Now we're talking about giving him more players. Guys, we're playing 1 game a week. We used to brag about that at the beginning of the season. We're going to play 1 game a week, and we're going to be better off. Now, are we really better off? There are teams that are challenging. They are still in the Premier League, challenging for Premier League. They're challenging for top 6. They're in the Champions League, and they're going to be playing 3 games a week when it comes a point in January. But we're still not playing at that level. What kind of excuse are we making now? What are we doing, guys? Okay, all right. At this point, you know what I think? Amorim doesn't need new players. He need a whole scout. We need to let him bring his whole scouting mission. We need to build a whole new academy for him. Since his 3-4-3 is so special that he needs special players to play it a different way. But good luck with that, guys. I'm out.
Let me my last word in it. Nuruddin, I'm gonna say this and you know can go and wrap it up. The people on the comments, bro, this player, that player, these players are gone now. Rashford's gone, Anthony's gone, these guys are gone. I hate this narrative. Garnacho's gone. I hate this narrative. These players. He's bought players, bro. He's bought a Prem-proven Cunha, which is underperforming. He's bought Brian Mbembe, who's literally good. I'll give you that, yeah. Sesko is injured. I think Sesko will be very good. I'm not going to lie. He's got the fundamentals. He keeps saying these players, like, who is every single time these players? But why not the manager? It's like, you know what? I've realized this. Amorim gets protected like he's our new Fergie. He's not a new Fergie, bro. You can actually critique him, bro. Do you know what I find baffling, bro? It's the narrative they paint on this guy like he's the best thing, like 5 game unbeaten. Well, we didn't win no 5 game, did we? Because we drew twice against Forest and Spurs, and we lost the fucking everything, down to 10 men. Like, the logic's not flawed, man. Makes sense, bro. Yeah, but that's it, man. That's all I need to say, man. Big up, guys. I'm gone.
Big up, big up.
Ed Bumbaye, last word from you. Then Ben, then we'll let Jarvis have the last word.
I think we've been pretty gracious and generous with the man. Last season we took it on the chin. I said, "Oh, let's keep him, no problem." But if I'm staying true to the Bumbaye that spoke earlier in the season, I said, let's 7, 8, 9, 10 games. I want to see some fluidity. I want to see the formulation of what looks like something that's going to be effective and entertaining. I'm still I'm behaving in a way where a manager's brand new and we'll just take in 3 points. You can play as bad as you. I'm still doing that. And today I'll even be honest to myself and say, if we'd have got 1-0 and got through that playing that way, which is absolutely terrible football, I probably would have come on here and my narrative would be, we live to fight another day, let's go to Wolves. If we get 3 points. So I'm not even putting big pressure on. And Lawani is absolutely right. We're playing 1 game a week, man. Forest, Palace are playing more games a week than us. And, Amorim, to his credit, and you, Dino, was saying, Palace gassed towards the end of the first half. Second half, they looked a bit tired. We took advantage of that. And I gave credit. We took advantage of that. But, I mean, damn it, man. How many things have to be in our favour? We should be able to compete by now. We should be looking like decent. The players should be, a little bit more fluidity. There should be a plan B. And today's just such a bad day at the office in terms of the performance for the full 90 minutes. I don't care if you have a shocking first half, but you came out second half and we didn't really test the keeper. We didn't do anything. The goal comes from a deflection. It lands perfectly for us. And at that point, I'm just thinking the only thing I'm going to be able to take from this whole performance is 3 points. So that's pretty generous. I mean, Arne Slot won the league. He's in trouble. He's getting it. So Trebs is right as well. Ten Hag, and the guy won some trophies, got to finals. Is this football better than Ten Hag's football? Nah, I don't really think so. Was Ten Hag ever as bad as last season? I don't think so. Ollie, compared to Ten Hag and Amorim, was a bloody genius. I enjoyed Ollie. I wanted to keep Ollie. Do you know what I mean? So he's right. Managers are getting sacked for a lot less. Look, I agree with the Ineos and Glazer stuff, but for me, at a certain point, if we go to Wolves and lose, it's going to get so loud that something will have to give. And there is a manager out there that is the right guy. And by the right guy, it doesn't mean he's going to come in and win the league, but you'll know he's the right guy because we'll be sat on here saying, you know what, no, we're doing all right. We're getting better. It's looking good. This is good. That's good. Progress. Ding, ding, ding. It takes time. But this doesn't look like progress anymore. That progress that I was talking about at Liverpool and Brighton seems quite far away. Progress is not definitively has an ending for sure at United because we've got so much to work on, but we're not really doing anything. We're not going forward anymore. We're just stagnant. And today was so bad, man. It's such a missed opportunity that every time we have an opportunity, we seem to throw it away at Forest, at Everton, and now at West Ham, and maybe at Wolves. And at a certain point, I'll throw in the towel and say, no, he's not the guy. And he doesn't look like the guy to me. I think the last word I'd say, how I feel about Ruben Amorim and his lack of presence, his lack of stature, he's inconsequential. He will go down, if it was to end today, as just a page in a long book. Inconsequential. Nothing changed. Nothing really happened. It was just a fart in the wind. That's what I think of it at the minute. Maybe next week we blow Wolves away and then we're back. I don't know. But right now, boys, I'm pretty deflated and I'm really disappointed. I really am disappointed today more than anything.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben, and then we go to Jarvis. Go ahead, Ben.
Big up, man. Free Palestine, fuck Zionism. Do you know what it is, people? I'm starting to fucking lose it, man. Where do we go from here? It's not Wolves. It's not Newcastle. It's not Bournemouth. It's not any of these games coming up. The answer is 3 letters. WAR. That's war. And I'm just prepared, whatever it is. At the end of the day, people, they've announced they're building a new stadium. They're going to be smashing down Old Trafford. So do you know what, man? As much as I love Old Trafford, and I always will love it to bits, maybe doing some damage to Old Trafford is probably the wave for me and for a lot of fans out there who are with me. I just think no manager out there under this current ownership will fucking save a fucking penny or anything. Like, no identity, with nothing. The soul is just gone. And do you know what, man? If you're even, it's like a normal job out there. If you're like, say for example, like an engineer or a mechanic or anything, there's a reason why these top mechanics or top engineers don't work at these big companies. Why? Because it's a fucking filthy, toxic fucking mess. And that's one of the main reasons why that I believe that no manager will succeed, and I will fucking die by those words. Unless you get rid of these fucking vultures, man. We need a complete reset. Like I said, I see a lot of people in the chat, and honestly, man, I'm just so disappointed, man. I see a lot of the OGs here with me, man, with Ineos, but I'm just so disappointed. People think that fucking sacking Amram is like, we have to, it's going to help us. So we need a new coach, new manager. I do not want Eddie Howe anywhere near this fucking club because of these owners, man. Like Treb said about the players, it's nothing about the players. He has signed players. Yes, he has signed players. But so why is Diego Dalot here? Why is Luke Shaw here? Why is Harry Maguire here? Why is Bruno Fernandes here? And on top of that, Lenny Euro, Xerxes, Mazarawi, Delit. Who else did we sign? I could even mention Rasmus Højlund because he was technically signed under the Richard Arnold era, should we say. All these players, they took us to 8th and they took us to 15th. So how can I say that any of these players that we've bought is a good signing for Manchester United? I can't. I physically can't. On paper, yes, Lenny Euro is a lovely signing, but he's not. He's not. None of them are showing me and proven as an individual, as a professional footballer, that they're good signings. And yes, half of that is down to the coach and the system. Obviously, we had Ten Hag, we had Ruben Amorim. But I'm sorry, as an individual, as a professional footballer, you can do more than enough as an individual to put out decent individual performances. And I am not seeing that in so fucking long. So do you know what, man? If anyone wants rid of Ruben Amorim, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. If you think solely getting rid of Ruben Amorim and bringing in another coach with a new system, go ahead. But I tell you what, people, if you think that, you're going down a dark path. A darker path, and that dark path is gonna be constant moaning, constant failure after failure after failure, and we're just gonna go back to this fucking. We need to get rid of another coach. We're just gonna get gaslighted once again by these owners. And do you know what, man? I might even start taking a break from Man United and start watching Celtic, because you know what, with Celtic, yes, the football might not be, tiki-taka, but I'll tell you one thing, bro. See the fan base, they don't tolerate shit. They don't tolerate shit, especially when it comes to Palestine and all this shit.
Do you
know what, man? So do you know what, man? I might start watching it if this fan base is just going to continue like this, because honestly, people, I seriously, I just question anyone who just thinks that Amorim this, Amorim that. I just question this, honestly. But big up for having me. Always, man. Big up to yourself, Nerdin.
Yeah, big up, Ben. Yeah, big up the MH raid, man. Appreciate the raid. Love to them. Make sure people go and check the channel out. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, big up to the MHF raid. I don't know where to start, but I want to continue the pressure on Amorim because now I'm fed up. I usually think in longevity, and I usually support the manager as long as I can. But I think we have reached a point where I can't support him anymore. We have come to a place where we have seen the patterns. We drew against Fulham, as I said. We were 1-0 up. We were trying to defend the lead. Fulham came into the game easily by just overloading the midfield and 1-1. A game we should have won. The Brighton game, we won the game 4-2, but everybody seems to forget we were up 3-0. Brighton came into the game again, and they actually bullied us. At the end, the result was 3-2. We were in cruise control, but suddenly something happened, and Brighton came into the game. So we scored on a counter-attack 4-2 in overtime, the 97th minute. But it was squeaky bum time, and we could have lost it and wasted yet again. Against Forest, we did the same 2-2. Against Spurs, we did the same 2-2. What happened against Everton was dreadful. We all remember the Grimsby game, and we got to be fair with ourselves. Noradin called it last week. The Palace game, Palace was gassed. They didn't have anything more to give in that second half. And, we talk about brilliance. I mentioned Amorim's in-game management. I gave him credit, but, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Noradin was right. He called it, the Palace players were gassed out. And, now again with West Ham. So we go from poor to even worse. But the thing is, my point is, we got a big warning earlier this season in an interview, like a big red flag waving in all of our faces. Big red flag. And that was the interview Ruben gave. And he said something like, not even the Pope can make me change my system. And I think we got to think a little bit about that statement, because he is so locked into his system that he struggles to adjust in real time. He's rigid, he's stubborn, and he's fixed on his ways. He's trying to prove everybody wrong, every football fan, every pundit, every manager, the Premier League, and the rest of the world, that he has figured out and reinvented the wheel. But he hasn't.
100.
It's the 3-4-2-1 rigid diamonds triangle system. But it's obviously not working. And I think he's got the players so confused, and they are set on doing it in the right way, the Amorim way, that they have forgot the name of the game, and that is to win games, score goals, and prevent the opposition scoring goals. It's very simplistic football, if you break it down. But now we are focused on the diagonal run, setting up the diagonals and diamonds and all of this. And with this, he's confused the players, and now we have come to a point where the fear of losing is stronger than the desire to win. This is the mentality of the group right now.
And that's not Manchester United.
That's exactly the one he said at the start.
No.
I just want to give up.
I just want to finish. Let me finish. I'm just going to end with my end point is, we have Wolves coming up, and we go again. We will probably win against Wolves, and then everything is forgotten. We start again, and we will cheer on this project. But it's still doomed. It's still going in the wrong direction. So, I think more and more people are starting to wake up to this. They're starting to see how Amorim is affecting this system. I don't believe in a simple solution than just sacking the manager, but I think he's out on his depth. We can give him as many plays as we like, but it doesn't help because he's so stubborn with his system. So I think what he needs is a assistant manager who actually can hold his hand and guide him through this. He's all by himself. He's 40 years or 38 years of age. He has an assistant who's 32 and 29 and 36, and one who's 48, and an old guy, the goalkeeper coach, who's in his 60s or something. None of them has experience from the Premier League. Let that sink in. We have 5-6 guys who are leading Man United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, who's never coached in the Premier League, has no experience, and they are going to guide us by giving us a new system that no one has played before. It's no traditions, it's nothing. If you come into Man United's hallways, we know nothing about this, and he's going to show us the way. It's so you couldn't write the comedy about this, and make it better, because it's laughable.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, Jarvis. Listen.
Listen.
I need to end it. I need to go because I've got to be up. I just want to thank. Listen, I just want to thank. We'll do another show tomorrow or the day after, Luwani. You get your thing. Say, big up to everybody. Big up to the raid, the Mo and Hassan for raiding us. Football, please go and check their channel out. Big up to every one of you. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Free Palestine. Good night.